SLOWPOKE here, and today we're going to cook up another liver recipe. My internet buddy Rob makes fun of both of us, he and I, because we make canned salmon and liver recipes, which are probably the two most unpopular things you can do on YouTube, maybe. But Camera Girl, she's very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. I told my mother-in-law about it, and she just hit the road to go to Chick-fil-A. But I love liver. I love traditional liver and onions. And a few weeks ago, I put up one that was kind of a Cuban-style liver, which is a way that we've gotten at a Cuban restaurant we like. And somebody in the comments, they suggested a stir-fry liver. And I thought that was a great idea. In fact, I made this not long after they suggested it, the stir-fry liver. And it was okay, because I didn't do enough. I didn't do enough Asian-y type stuff to it. So today I'm going to try be a little more aggressive with the stir-fryiness of it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to make liver that's going to be maybe a way that you can eat it if you're not crazy about liver. We're going to try to make it taste like an Asian dish. But I've got some different kind of livers here. Got beef liver and I got calf liver. And I usually get the beef liver because it's cheaper. Now, calf liver is supposed to be a little more tender, blah, 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 but, you know, less veiny, something or other. I can't really tell the difference, especially in this grocery store liver. And I get this in the frozen food section, is where it's the easiest for me to find. Sometimes you can find it in the fresh meat case if you're at a specialty meat store, or sometimes an international food store. We found it in Canada pretty regularly. But here in the U.S., like at the big box stores, they just don't keep liver in a case fresh because it doesn't sell very well. But it's very easy to find in the frozen food section, where they got the frozen meats. And it's individually wrapped. So it's kind of handy-dandy. But they're not very thick pieces. These aren't too bad. But sometimes they're so thin. And somebody was asking me about where they can get some thicker cuts. And I got this here at a local Cuban market. And this is a little bit thicker. And sometimes you can find them thicker than this. And they sold them in the 4-packs or the 2-packs. But I mean, you can shop around. If you don't want to use this kind of thin frozen liver, you can try an Asian market or some market with a little different take on food, maybe where this type of ingredient is more popular than your standard U.S. market. But I'm going to throw these back in the freezer because today I'm just going to cook up 2 pieces. And I'm going to use a little trick that my buddy Rob taught me. I'll have a link down below. You can check out his channel. But he starts cooking these off frozen because they're so thin that you can put them in the pan frozen and then they'll cook up, quite well. And it's just easier to handle because if you let these thaw out completely, I mean, they almost want to disintegrate when you pick them up sometimes. But let me go ahead and get my skillet going over here. I got it on medium heat. Now, normally I would use just like an olive oil or some sort of less flavorful oil. But today I'm going to use some coconut oil, which is going to have a little bit of a coconutty flavor, which, I don't know. Does that sound like
might cover the liver?
Well, I mean, I guess it could cover the liver. If you don't like the taste of the liver. We're trying to give this more of an Asian flavor to it. So I'm going to use this coconut oil, which is not processed or what is that? Because a lot of times we'll get coconut oil and it won't have a coconutty taste.
That's refined.
But this here actually does have a little bit of a coconut flavor.
It's unrefined.
So that might help to mask the liveriness. Now, why would you want to use liver if you're trying to mask that flavor? The thing is, liver, it's a super duper healthy ingredient. If you're low on iron, right? My mom, they told her to eat more liver because her iron was low.
With some fava beans?
Yeah, with some fava beans. And now she's practically made of iron now. But we're just going to cut open our liver here and get the plastic off of here. And this is frozen. This is rock hard solid. And I'm going to put it in the skillet. Just like this. Get my garbage. There's going to be all kinds of noise on this video, I think. But we're going to kind of do some impromptu experimental type videos. So we'll see how they work out. But I've already got most of my veggies cut up, except for my onion I haven't cut up. So other than the fact that I've got a little bit prepped, this is going to be kind of a real-time video, I think, if I can talk enough. If I can't, then I'll cut it out. Like when I come over here to wash my hands. Now usually in a video I cut that out. And maybe I'll cut it out in this video. So if this audio is unusable, you know, I might have some gaps. And you can just assume that if there's gaps in the video, Chef Buck's probably washing his hands. Now I'm going to do stir fries, you know, with the liver, and, you know, of course stir fry is good with rice. We had a, what did we make the other night? Oh, I did salmon cakes with rice. So I made some extra rice because I knew I was going to be doing this here. And then I've chopped up these veggies, and you can use whatever kind of veggies you like. Since this is an Asian dish, I got some big chunks of ginger and some big chunks of garlic.
Garlic, yeah.
But before I start my sauteing my veggies here, I'm going to go ahead and cook my liver, you know, or at least get it started, you know, since it is frozen. So I'm going to cook my liver. And then I'm going to take it out of the pan and let it rest while I get my veggies started. Because the liver cooks very fast. So I don't want to cook all this stuff together. But I think that's kind of hot enough. So I'm going to take my frozen liver and just throw it in here.
Ooh, careful, it might splatter.
And then we'll just give it a couple of minutes on each side. Now what else? How are we going to make this Asian-y? Asian-y, is that? I don't even know if that's a good word to be using. But I got sesame oil, and I got a little tamari right here. And tamari is just kind of an upscale soy sauce. It's a pretentious soy sauce.
It's gluten-free.
Is it gluten-free?
And generally it doesn't have high fructose corn syrup.
But you can get soy sauce that's gluten-free, can't you?
It's called tamari.
That's it. The sun will come out tamari. I don't know. We might have to cut lines like that. Oh, you know what? A good thing for Asian dishes is sesame seeds, right? So we've got our everything spice over here. I think I'll throw a little bit of this, the bagel stuff, at the end of it. Because like I said, I made this before trying to do a stir-fry liver dish, and it didn't quite work. Maybe I'll throw sesame seeds and see if that helps. But you know, you just got to be creative in the kitchen and try different stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. You know, but I thought a stir-fry for liver was a great suggestion. So I appreciate all the suggestions. We always like all the comments. We read them all when folks we first upload the video, so we really appreciate it. Somebody did a comment today saying that I asked them about yuca fries, and I love yuca fries. But we've never made yuca fries, have we, at home? You know, so maybe we should do that. Let's see. So this has been going for I don't know how long. Seems long enough. So I'm going to turn it over. And so we just got a little bit of color on there.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll just cook the other side for about just as much time. And then I'm going to get it out of here.
I don't know. You got enough onion? You could probably do 2 more onions.
Well, the thing is, I'm only putting, this is a lot. This is a lot of veggies. I'm only cooking up 2 pieces of liver. So, you know, this is a lot to go in this skillet, even though it's a big skillet. But we have a lot of natural flavors here, and this is going to bring a lot of flavor. So I'm not going to put a lot of dried spice in here. I've got a couple of things here. But we'll see how it goes. Now, Camera Girl wants me to use pink salt from now on. Why is that?
Because you get micronutrients that your body needs, where the other iodine salt, you're not getting anything.
Iodized salt?
Yep. Oh, I think yeah. Mm-hmm.
We don't want to use this?
No.
We want to use this pink salt because it's twice as much?
Probably,
Camera Girl.
it's more than that, buddy.
Once something is an extravagant price, Camera Girl's like, yeah, that's for us.
Whoa, no. Once we got older and we need to have energy, and I'm going for all kinds of goodies.
You think we got older?
He says with his white hair.
You think we got older? Right now, wait till next year. And you'll be saying how old we are. All right, so I think that's enough. I got a little bit of color on here. I got it started, but it's still got a ways to go. But I'm going to slice it up and add this into the dish later. But I'll go ahead and get it out of the skillet now. I've kind of firmed it up. got a little bit of color on there. So now I'm going to take my livery type oil, and I'm going to go ahead and throw my onions in here and get them started. And I've got this sliced into kind of some big pieces. You can really cut this up into whatever sizes and shapes you like. You know, with this kind of dish, you know, I like to do different sizes. You know, I don't want to cook. Camera Girl, she likes to cut everything into minute little pieces so that it ends up looking like, you know, those cans of mixed vegetables. You know, it looks like some kind of vegetarian dog food. But I like nice big chunks. So we'll get our onions and let that start. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw the ginger in here. Let that get going too. I'm going to hold off on my garlic for a minute. We'll go ahead and stir our vegetables around, get them coated in oil. Let's see, I'm not going to be able to just talk for that long. So you could wait a few minutes, but since I'm making a video, I'm going to go ahead and start throwing other stuff in here. Because this kind of thing is really versatile. With a stir-fried dish like this, you know, I almost like to have everything undercooked so it has, you know, a nice texture. I don't like it when you go to places and all the veggies are really limp and soft and all the nutrition has been cooked out of them. So maybe me trying to hustle here and get this done will actually be more beneficial to us. These veggies here take a little while to cook. So I'll throw these in too. I got some cabbage. Boom, boom, boom. This is, what is this? The purple cabbage. Camera Girl always gets purple cabbage.
I don't always.
Yeah, you always get purple cabbage. You should buy green cabbage.
What?
Green
I know
cabbage
where you're going to be sleeping,
better.
buddy.
That's right. Well, maybe. We'll see. It might be the couch tonight. But I'm going to go ahead and throw some carrot in here. And I got a bunch of celery. Now, celery is great, especially in a stir fry or any kind of dish like this, because celery always seems to keep its crunch after everything else wants to lose its crunch. But I think a lot of this stuff is going to remain crunchy because I'm not going to cook it for too long. So we'll stir around. Now I'm going to throw some dry spices in here. Got a little bit of roasted garlic, even though we've got some garlic in here, some fresh garlic, but this kind of concentrated dry garlic adds a nice flavor. And then I got onion powder because I bought this onion powder 5 years ago, so I'm trying to use it up. This is too much onion powder.
That's blasphemy.
So we'll just throw it in here. I feel like I've been using this jar of onion powder my whole life. Then I'm going to use some black pepper. I like to use fresh cracked black pepper. But we got to get rid of this here. I'm just saying, you know, this can's on its last leg, so I'm going to throw this out here. Now, you know what I would love to put in here? Some peppers, some bell peppers, or some jalapeno peppers, or some spice.
We have a jalapeno.
But I wasn't yeah, we did, but I didn't chop any of that stuff up because I thought maybe your mom would want some, but she, you know, she ran out the door when I told her we were going to make liver. But I'm going to go ahead and add some spicy spice. Let me see. I wasn't going to add any of this stuff, but I'll add a little bit of heat with some chili powder since your mom's not going to partake.
Well, in chili powder, some of them are hot, some of them aren't.
Yes, that's very true. And I can't remember which one this is.
It's the hot.
Well, that's good. Then we got a little bit of heat in here.
I think it's got some chipotle.
Chipotle is, well, we've got some chipotle over there, but that's just roasted poblano pepper.
Yep.
But, you know, we're trying to make an Asian-y dish, not a Latin-style dish.
What were you saying about experimenting?
Let's see. I feel like I'm
Don't you want to get
losing my oil. Here, let me,
Oh.
I'm going to add a little bit, smidgen of more oil in here.
And you could do butter if you
Get
wanted
more.
to mix it up.
No. We're not putting no butter in here because this is a stir fry. I'm going to throw some salt in here. Although I don't know how. Oh, I shouldn't have maybe done that because this tamari is going to have a lot of salt in it.
Yep.
Oh well, you know, you live and you learn. But
You're going to have to cut up that meat.
Camera Girl's going to be happy about that. Yeah, I'm going to cut up the meat. Let me stir this around here. And now I'm going to go ahead and throw this little bit of broccoli in here. I'm going to do it last, you know, so it's not totally soaky soggy. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm always trying to sneak broccoli into dishes. And broccoli, I don't know, that's kind of stir fry. So there we have it. Now let me slice up my meat a little bit here. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to cut it into some little strips.
It doesn't get tough?
You know, if you overcook liver, it does get tough. But we're not going to overcook it. You can see it is still pretty pink inside.
That's true.
It's warm though, even though I just had it on the stove for a few moments. And it was frozen when we started. But if we completely thawed this out, you definitely don't want to cut it into strips before you cook it at all, because, I mean, it's hard to explain. If you haven't handled this kind of thawed, thin sliced liver, I mean, it's like a horror movie meat. Let me wash my hands here. Now I'm using a non-stick skillet. See how everything's kind of sticking to the bottom there with my spices and whatnot?
It's not a non-stick.
Isn't that what I said?
No, you
what
said I'm using a non-stick skillet.
Oh, yeah. I'm using a non-stick skillet. But now I'm going to go ahead and throw this little bit of tamari in here and see if that'll deglaze it a wee little bit. And that was a lot. But last time I didn't do a lot. So I'm hoping this will do better. So that kind of loosens all those bits and bobbles at the end. And that's a lot of flavor. And if I have to put anything else in here, I'll probably put a little bit of water. Because that's going to be a lot of salt right there. But I'm going to go ahead and throw my meat in here right now. And this meat is already almost cooked through. And, you know, like Camera Girl was saying, we don't want to overcook it because it will toughen up. And if this falls apart in here a little bit and breaks apart, that's alrighty. I cut it into some big enough strips to where that's not going to matter. Golly, that broccoli's got some nice color on it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this alone for just a moment and let that cook up. Boom, boom. Let's see. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. Let me get a little bit of rice here. Now, are you going to want some rice on yours, Camera Girl?
I'll fix mine.
Alrighty. I'm not going to do a lot of rice. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the microwave. Now, what if I cracked an egg in here and stirred that up? What do you think about that? You think that'll make it more Asian-y?
Sure, if you want to. I don't know how it'll stand up to the liver flavor, but...
Well, I think I like, you know, like a stir-fried egg in this kind of dish. You know, that always makes it feel more Asian-y to me. I think I'm not going to do it on this particular one because I think photogenically this will look better. And I don't want the dish to look too sloppy in my thumbnail. So I'm going to hold off on using an egg. Hot plate. Let me give a taste test here and see how my flavors are going. That is great. This is a lot better than the last batch I made because I went a little crazy. You saw how much tamari I put in here. But, I don't know, I didn't put too much. I thought it might be too salty, but it's not. Now I am going to add a little bit of sesame oil because that really says Asian.
But a little does go a long way.
even though I went kind of crazy with the tamari, hopefully I didn't do too bad on that. So we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off here, because I think this liver's already cooked through plenty enough. Look at that. That looks really good. That's a nice color combo. That little bit of vibrant green. Alrighty, look at that. Look at that very, what is that? Conservative amount of rice. It's like I'm trying to watch my figure. Let me put some of this on here. That's not very photogenic, but I think that's going to work. I'll have to make a prettier plate for my thumbnail.
Well, you can go ahead and do your bite, though.
But this will be good for eating
Yeah.
as soon as it cools down. Oh, you know, I didn't even try it to see how it was after I put the sesame in there. Let me see if I got too much in here. Oh, you know what? I could have put some chopped up peanuts in here.
Yeah. Still can.
But I love sesame oil. So that's good. I got all those flavors coming through. So if it seems like I went a little too far, you know, maybe that's kind of necessary when you're trying to give the liver some Asian-iness. But let me go ahead and throw some of these sesame seeds on here. Look at that. Now, look at that. Looks like I'm at a Chinese restaurant. This is really too hot for me to eat.
Has that ever stopped you?
Look at that. You're going to have to... Oh, your mother's going around front. When she comes in the front door, go out there and get focus on her Chick-fil-A bag.
I am not.
Really?
No.
I'll go do it.
No.
It's very good.
So you can start with a frozen, so that's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
You get some iron and some other stuff from having organ meat.
And I love liver.
Yes, you do.
I love liver. If you don't love liver, maybe this is the way to go. Oh, come on. Let me get this here. Okay. Let's sneak in here. Hey, I'm not going to put you in the video. She doesn't want to be a superstar because I want to get this here. Let's just do this part here. Look at that.
Busted.
But you saw how quick this was to cook up. You know, but you didn't see me chopping all that stuff. So you got to add another 10 minutes for chopping.
Or 20 if you're me.
Or 20 if you're a camera girl. Or you want to keep all your fingers.
I had a bite, I have to admit.
You had a bite?
Yeah.
Oh, here, let me get a picture of you taking a bite. People like to see you in the video. Somebody said in the comments today that you're the classy part of the act. And, you know, I agreed with them.
That's very sweet.
But you saw how little I had the liver in there. And then I just added it at the end for a few minutes. And it's still got a little bit of hint of lightness in there. But it's definitely cooked through. It doesn't take much time at all for liver.
Yeah, and you don't want it tough.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
you
very
almost have enough flavors where I can't tell it's liver.
Well, that's true. This is a good flavor for hiding liver if you want to hide it. But liver still has this kind of consistency you can't get away from.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But if you're scared of the liver, you know, try it with a stir fry. So thanks for the suggestion. And we appreciate you watching our videos. We got links down below to all kinds of stuff. If you want to help us out, you can do some clicking around. Thumbs it up, blah, blah, blah. And we'll see you next weekend. Bye-bye.